Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of TEVAdrive, and this time around for the first time we're driving a plug-in hybrid version of the Mercedes GLE 2024 version, Mercedes GLE 450e. And right here we can mention that we're going to be comparing it against 4 other competitors. So we've previously driven the Porsche Cayenne plug-in hybrid, the Range Rover Sport plug-in hybrid, the Volvo XC90 plug-in hybrid, and next week we're driving the BMW X5 50e, which are all basically competitors in the same category. This particular Mercedes GLE 450e, which is kind of a nice thing with Mercedes, is priced virtually the same as the gas 450 version, and Mercedes does the same thing with the gas versions versus the pure electric, for example, EQS and S-Class are priced the same. So it's basically no reason for someone not to go with a plug-in hybrid or full electric. And the full electric equivalent of this particular car would be the EQE, again priced the same. So this one here starts at 90,000. As equipped is 102,000 Canadian. It has quite a few options. We'll go through that in a moment. We just wanted to show you this is the first time the Mercedes introduced a plug-in hybrid version of this GLE here in North America. It has been sold for quite a while in Europe, and even though it's produced in the US, it was only sold for export markets in Europe. So this is the first year that Mercedes has introduced the plug-in hybrid version of the GLE here in Canada. Again, starting at 90,000 as equipped for 102. The technical specs that you have are that it's a basically 240 horsepower 4-cylinder turbo engine combined with a 134 horsepower electric motor that's built into the transmission. And so the total horsepower is 381 horsepower with the rated acceleration of 6.1 seconds, 0 to 100. The 23.3 kilowatt hour battery gives it a rated range of 76 kilometers, and we'll tell you what our test results were during this week. Okay, so let's give you a walk around, which just mentioned that the graphics for this latest 2024 model have been changed on the front headlights. You have the matrix headlights with the LEDs bottom and top, and then the matrix LEDs here. When you turn on the car, it displays various messages on the wall in front of you, which is kind of neat. So there is no front fogs. There are, however, rear fogs, so we'll show you in a moment. So both the grille and the graphics of the headlights have been redesigned for 2024 on the GLE. These are 21-inch rims, which is one of the options. So the larger rims, they are 275 wide, which is kind of the same size as we have on our summer tires and on our Audi e-tron. And these are winter tires, Pirelli Scorpio, which is the same ones we put on our Audi. And obviously, this affects the range. So our test results this winter, which is exceptionally mild. I mean, we're in February and it's +4 and sunny. It's amazing. It feels like spring. Doesn't feel like February in Canada at all. So to go back to the tires, the winter tires will affect the range quite a bit. So we'll tell you what results we got. We can tell you, spoiler alert, that we managed to beat, as always we do, we managed to beat the estimated electric range on this car. The running boards, the aluminum running boards, are an option as well. Let us show you the interior space on the car, both front and back. So this is the emerald green exterior color with the beige interior. A very nice combination. Lots of people commented on it when we were driving it this past week. So I have a very comfortable seat position. This seat is adjustable electrically in so many different ways: heated, cooled, massaged, and everything can be adjusted. Even the lumbar support and the lateral support can be adjusted through the on-screen menus. Beautiful panorama roof that opens up, and it's huge. It stretches all the way to the back. I will show you the interior later on. I just wanted to show you the space, lots of space, and lots of ways to adjust the seat. So I love that. Let us show you the rear space now, and we will show you as well certain couple of items that we noticed on this car. So the space is ample for both your feet and your legs. You can cross your legs here. There's enough space even for a tall person sitting in front. And again, I'm 190 centimeters or 6'3". Plenty of space front and back. Obviously, it's a good size, mid-size SUV. So the one thing that kind of surprises, and we'll mention it later, certain things are missing from this 100,000 SUV. Number one, there's only the center vents here. For passengers in the rear. There is no vents on the B-pillar that exist on many of the competitors, and there is no screen here that allows the rear passengers to adjust their climate controls at all. So it's a little bit surprising again for a car costing $100,000. The other thing that's missing, and we'll mention it, we'll show you when we take you for a drive, is what's missing is the adaptive cruise and for some reason auto steer or even lane assist. It's not here. You would expect that in a car costing $100,000 that should be standard, right? Perhaps it will be eventually. This is just for the first year that Mercedes-Benz Canada has introduced this model to North America. You do get the foot swipe option. Very large trunk. But because the battery is located here, no additional storage under the floor. But when you lay the seats down, it's a very large trunk, very competitive with the other cars in this price range and in this category of plug-in hybrids. All right, so let us just show you the charge port. So the charge port for this Mercedes, and that's the important thing here, it's one of the very few plug-in hybrids that offer DC fast charging. Now again, surprisingly, this particular $100,000 a press car does not have the DC option. It's a $650 option, and again, in our opinion, that should be standard. So again, things like adaptive cruise, lane keeping, and DC should be standard. I mean, it's here, why make it an option? Anyways, so the car comes with up to 60 kilowatt DC option if you have that option, and the level 2 charging is up to about 10 kilowatts. They don't mention the kilowatt speed. They mention fully charged in 2.5 hours on a level 2, which would make this about 10 kilowatt speed based on 23.3 kilowatt hour battery. So that's about it for the interior. Let's jump inside. Take you for a test drive and let you know about the results of our tests. All right, so here we are inside the 2024 Mercedes GLE 450e plug-in hybrid. As we mentioned, the specs are total horsepower 381 horses, 6-second acceleration, and that's divided between the 240 horsepower 4-cylinder turbo engine and 134 horsepower electric motor that's built into the transmission. 23.3 kilowatt hours battery that gives it a rated range of 76. Will tell you that's kilometers, 76 kilometers. Will tell you about our results. The highest estimate we got was 92. We were not able to reach it, but we'll tell you what we did once we take you for a drive. Just wanted to quickly go through the interior options here in this car. You have the 2 cup holders here that are heated and cooled. You have the wireless phone charger here, but what we can mention is that once we put our phone here and we were streaming music and navigation from my Samsung Galaxy phone, it just barely kept up with keeping the same state of charge. It did not charge it up at all, and also it overheated my phone. So some of the competitors, like a Range Rover, has a cooled wireless phone charger. This is not the case here. So at least with my phone, it would not really charge it up, and it just maintained the state of charge, and it overheated the phone after a while. But again, it could be different with different phones. So again, 2 cup holders, heated and cooled, and the button to do that is here. You have the wireless pad, the touchpad here. A lot of buttons here for the cameras, the car options, the drive modes are here, volume button here, and then you have your buttons here for navigation, map, and radio media telephone, and then the programmable button here, home button there. So the screen here is this is the MBUX system, but this is the dual screen setup. As you know, if you look back at our videos of the EQE and EQS sedans and SUVs, with those other pure electric cars, you have the option of the hyper screen, which then involves having 4 screens, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 there for the passenger. So this is just a dual screen setup. As far as we know, the hyper screen is not available here in the GLE, of any versions of the GLE. So this is the standard screen here. As you can see, we're now in the hybrid screen. It's showing 88% and it's showing a range of 77 kilometers, which is, by the way, happens to be the rated range at full. So we'll tell you what our testing revealed. You have your consumption screen here. You can touch on the battery consumption or the gas consumption. Here it's showing a ridiculous consumption of 79.9 kilowatt hours per 100 because we've been sitting here with the car, shooting the video with the car sitting and with the climate on. That's the only reason why we have this consumption so high. You have the energy flow screen. You have the vehicle, showing the modes and your scores for acceleration, braking, etc., outside temperature. And you have the engine screen here showing you the statistics of the engine. But we prefer to kind of keep it on the consumption screen to keep an eye on that. Okay, so other than that, we can mention that some of the other options are through the comfort screen, you can activate your seat heating and seat cooling. You can activate massage. You can activate also the heating of additional areas, such as this particular armrest here, and also the side armrest. Besides the driver here, and for the passenger, you can activate the heating for those little areas, which is quite nice. The presence of a lot of physical buttons like here and here, basically for the main things, such as the climate and defrosters, etc., and adjusting the temperature. I really appreciate that. You have the gear shifter, which you remember is also the same gear shifter as in the older Teslas, because now Tesla has eliminated this gear stack and put everything on the screen, unfortunately. And then you have your indicators and your wiper stack here. You turn it to activate the front wiper, then you have the buttons here for the rear wiper as well. The interesting thing here is that the shift paddles here in this plug-in hybrid are dual. They have dual function. When you're in the electric mode, they increase your region. But if you tap the minus, shift paddle on the left, it increases. You can increase the maximum regen, and it's very strong. It's almost one pedal, not quite, because in order to come to a full stop, you still have to press the brake pedal. But in the gas mode or sport mode, this will be actually shifting your gears. So it's nice that it's a dual function. You have all the main functions here. So that's for your, cruise control, and that's again surprising that in this car, with so many other beautiful options, it's missing the adaptive cruise, and it's missing the lane keep assist or auto steer. It's missing from this car. Perhaps it's a standalone option, or perhaps they are trying to push people into the pure electric versions, which do have that option already in them. So that's about it. We can show you the nice large compartment here. Lots of USB plugs everywhere. This handle is kind of nice. The LED lighting stretches from the doors in through the middle here all the way to the back on the right. And there's even LED lighting here on the side of those handles here, which is kind of nice. And the ladies who are traveling, my wife and daughter, said that this is practical when you're getting into this tall car. You can grab this handle to kind of position yourself in the seat, so it's kind of nice. Beautiful opening sunroof. Again, we love that about Mercedes cars, both plug-in hybrids and the pure electrics all have the sunroof that opens up fully. There we go. It goes back quite a bit. That's the maximum. Okay, so let's close it. Of course, it has a tilt option. So let's close it now. Very quiet operation, so you can tilt it by pulling it up. There you go. You close it, and then when you press it again, you close the blind. Again, we love the opening and the sunshade or blind combination, because that's the most effective way to prevent the interior from overheating. And we love the tilt function. Even in the winter now, when we travel, we were able, on a sunny day, we were able, even though the temperature was below zero, we were able to travel without using any climate. We just tilted the sunroof. It provides the air circulation you need, so your windows don't fog up, and you don't have to use the climate at all. So it's a beautiful option to have, and we love that. That's one of our criteria for choosing our electric cars and plug-in hybrids. Okay, so that's about it for the interior of the car and the screen options. We won't be going through more options on the screens because they're identical to some of the EQE and EQS sedans and SUVs that we reviewed recently. So there's no need for us to go over that again. They're exactly the same options as those other cars in terms of how to change the look of the dashboard and the options on the center screen. So that's about it for the interior options. Let's take you for a drive. All right, so let's take you for a spin. That's how we turn on the gear. And there's no auto hold. For some reason, we could not find a way to apply the auto hold in this car, so the car automatically creeps forward. We are now in electric mode. The mode button is here to change the mode. So let's show you the modes. You have individual, you have sport, you have, and the engine comes on, of course, in the sport mode right away. You have hybrid, you have electric, and you have battery hold. Now, battery hold, again, another surprise here. The battery hold does not charge the battery. It just holds the state of charge. So the only way to charge up the battery a bit is using sport mode, but you don't get much electric range. So over 100 kilometers, we got about 5 kilometers of electric range, that's all. Okay, so let's try and that's a 4-cylinder turbo, by the way, and it's quite noisy. You can hear it inside. It's quite invasive, the noise of the engine. You can hear it quite well inside. Some of it is probably the exhaust setting. It's supposed to sound sporty, but it's a little bit too overwhelming. It's too noisy, and there's too much vibration going on, for my taste anyways, compared with some of the other competitors. So see, like we switched it back to electric, but because it's been sitting, the engine is cold. It actually will keep running the engine for a while before it turns it off. The same thing happens in extreme cold temperatures that we haven't had this winter. We had an extremely warm January and February now as well, above zero temperatures, which helps with the hypermiling, but we did not really do proper winter tests, and like the coldest it got was -15, and we happened to have that weekend when it was so cold, we had the Jeep plug-in hybrid. So anyways, okay, so let's take you for a drive and tell you about the results of our testing. We drove this car as usual from Toronto to our lake house near Midland on Georgian Bay, a distance of 150 kilometers. So because this car is missing the $650 DC option, we could only drive it with a full charge from Toronto, and we used the Highway 27 to hypermile it. It was above zero temperature. It turned off the climate. We just used a bit of a steering heat and a bit of a seat heat. Yeah, look at that. It's that 4-cylinder turbo is quite noisy. Now it just turned off, you see. So it takes a few minutes. When you switch it back to the electric mode, you can hear the pedestrian warning sound as well. It's quite substantial. So it takes, that's the case with all the plug-in hybrids. You know, when you turn on the engine by changing modes, when you want to go back to a full electric, it takes a few minutes. It doesn't want to turn off and on the engine too often. So let's talk about the results. So again, the rated range on this 23.3 kilowatt hours net size battery is 76 kilometers. When we drove it on Highway 27 from Toronto to Barrie using Highway 27 and side streets, doing below 100 kilometers per hour speed, and of course no climate, temperature was just above zero, and we managed to actually arrive in Barrie at the fast chargers, our usual location of Electrify Canada, which we will not be using, but we'll talk about that another time. So a total distance of 85 kilometers, which is not bad. Keep in mind that it's fairly cold at just around zero, and also we're driving on winter tires, which affects the range as well. So in the summer, this car could definitely reach 100 kilometers or more. So perhaps we'll redo this test in the summer to see how far we can drive. So it's kind of similar to the Range Rover, which we were able to drive in the warmer weather all the way to Barrie, and the battery wasn't even empty. The Range Rover has a slightly bigger battery. And the Range Rover had the fast charging option, so we managed to top it up and then drive all the way to Georgian Bay in pure electric. So we could not do it on this car, so we obtained a total distance of 85 kilometers in pure electric, at which point the high voltage battery was depleted, and then we continued in hybrid mode. So hybrid mode, again, we used the side roads to see how low we could get the gas consumption. With the depleted battery, we reset all the statistics, and we obtained hybrid consumption on the side roads, again driving below 100 kilometers per hour of about 7.3 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's not bad. Driving on the highway, obviously, that would be higher. Same with the electric range on the highway. It would be much smaller because the speed affects the electrical consumption, and at highway speeds, the electric motor is not very efficient. So we mostly used it in the city, use it off the highway, and then on the highway, the best thing is just to switch it to a gas or save mode. And then when you're off the highway, then put it back in electric mode. 23.3 kilowatt hour battery size is decent. There are bigger batteries in plug-in hybrids out there. So next week, when we're reviewing the last of the 5 plug-in hybrid SUVs, we'll do a little summary to compare battery sizes, total power, acceleration on our results, and so on. This car here is a great competitor. Our family loved it, driving it and driving in it this week. So both my wife and daughter, who like the plug-in hybrids, really enjoyed this car. Its size, the comfort, the high sitting position. So again, when you compare it with the Mercedes pure electrics, be it EQS SUV or EQE SUV, which would be more direct equivalent of this car, the equivalent of GLE would be EQE. The equivalent of EQS SUV would be the GLS, which does not exist, unfortunately, in a plug-in hybrid version, just like the BMW X7 does not exist in an electric version. So this is a very competitive product, again priced the same as its gas counterpart, and very similar to the pure electric counterpart, which is a nice thing about Mercedes. You can choose any of the 3 options, pure gas, pure electric, or plug-in hybrid, virtually at the same price. So personally, I'm surprised why everybody doesn't go for either. Why bother going with full gas when you can save a lot of money? Sorry, there was an ambulance going. We had to stop. Anyway, so there's no reason for you not to go for either pure electric or plug-in hybrid. Honestly, why would anyone go for a pure gas vehicle? It's beyond me. If it's the same price, right? You might as well save the environment, save on gas, and you just plug in at home every night, and it's fully charged. But recommendation for this car is definitely pay that $650 DC option, because then you can avoid. You just do a quick stop for 15-20 minutes to fully charge it, and you keep going. If your cottage is within a distance of like 150 to 200 kilometers, you will be able to reach it with this DC option without using any gas. Which is, and again, the Mercedes has this option, and the Range Rover has this option. The BMW, the Volvo, and the Porsche decided not to have a DC fast charging option. So that's an important thing to keep in mind when you're choosing this car. Again, the surprise here, no auto steer, and no adaptive cruise. Even though this car is stuffed with options, you know, like 90,000 Canadian base for a total price of 102 with options. You'd expect that both the DC would be here, adaptive cruise and auto steer would be here in this car. So that's the only kind of downside to this particular car. We love the emerald green color outside, the dark green emerald metallic, and the beige interior. We love that, combined with the you know, the great huge sunroof there makes the interior very bright, and we'll love that. And the fact that it's an opening sunroof, honestly, it's one of our preferred cars. So we'll have to think hard, and next week when we drive the BMW X5 50e plug-in hybrid competition, we'll have to think hard of what our preferred plug-in hybrid would be. You know, so again, our personal criteria is the fast charging option and an opening sunroof. So we'll let you know next week after we drive the BMW, when we do the full comparison of the 5 plug-in hybrid SUV competitors in our marketplace. So that's it for our review of this 2024 Mercedes GLE 450e plug-in hybrid. If you have any questions regarding this test, please do not hesitate to comment on our video. We'll do our best to respond, and as usual, do not forget to press the subscribe button on our channel to be informed when the next review will be coming. And as usual, we have lots more reviews of pure electric and plug-in hybrid cars coming to our channel soon. There's so many new cars coming out this year. It's an exciting year for all brands. It's a challenging year as well, but we look forward to providing you with more reviews for those cars in the near future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next review.